If you clicked on this video, it's because you feel lost. You did everything right. You show up, you try, but something still feels off, like you're drifting, like you're just without aim. You're not broken, you're not lazy, or maybe you are a bit lazy. But what I'm trying to say is feeling lost is more common than you think. Let's talk about the 4 real reasons why this might be happening and what you can do to work through them. The first reason is, well, you lack a clear goal. When you don't know where you're headed, everything blends together. So, since you don't have a filter, every notification, every task, every pressure feels equally urgent or equally pointless. There's a quote by Jordan Peterson that I really like, and he says, "You don't get what you don't aim for." Without a clearly defined goal, even small decisions become overwhelming because they lack context. And the question that's going to arise in you is, what's the point? The next thing that's going to happen, emotional chaos sets in, right? So you might start feeling anxious, indecision, or simply that everything feels meaningless. Here's the key idea. Feeling lost isn't a failure, it's a signal. Your brain is just trying to tell you, give me something to aim at. Second reason, you don't see progress. So you might have a goal, but it's too vague. So your brain can't track it, right? So you start to get the feeling of feeling stuck. What ends up happening is you end up in the same routine. You wake up, you go to work, you have the meeting, you check off the task off your list, round and round you go. But it doesn't feel like movement because you don't have a goal that you're working towards. It just feels like maintenance. Progress creates motivation. When you don't see evidence of momentum, your drive begins to fade. Without small wins, the very things that you care about start to feel heavy or pointless. And that is when doubt creeps in. Third reason, your values are unclear or conflicted. What you notice, react to, care about is shaped by your internal value system. And if that system is confused or split, your perception becomes distorted. You might be chasing 2 things at once: comfort and growth, stability and excitement. When you're pulled in 2 different directions, everything feels like friction. So there are 2 versions of you, right? There's the one version that's tired and just wants to watch Netflix, and there's the other version that wants to work till late. That inner tug of war creates emotional fatigue. You feel indecisive, scattered, and numb, not because you're weak, but because your internal value system is not calibrated. Clarifying your values brings alignment. It lets your goals and energy move in the same direction. So, one thing you can ask yourself is, what do I admire in others? What do I care about? What am I drawn to? What makes me angry? All these answers that you'll be getting usually points you and start to reveal what you truly care about. Being lost is the beginning of meaning. This is not weakness, it's not failure. It's the moment right before you find yourself. A new direction will emerge. The discomfort isn't punishment, it's feedback, and this feedback is the beginning of change. I like the quote by Henry David Thoreau. He says that, "Not until we are lost do we begin to understand ourselves." So if you can sit in this moment of uncertainty and just stick with it, without rushing through it, but exploring it, you're going to create a space for yourself to start finding what you value, to find your purpose, to find the direction you should go in. How to start moving forward? Well, the first one is obvious. Number 1, set clear goals. Like we said earlier, you don't get what you don't aim for. Vague goals feel safe, but they don't provide feedback, they don't provide urgency, and there's no real success to them. When you define what matters, your brain begins scanning the environment through that lens to see what's important, what to focus on, and where the energy should go to. So I would say use micro goals. Make it small enough that it's winnable. For example, don't say today, I want to be present. No, set a goal today. for example, and you say, today at lunch, I will put my phone away, and I will ask the person I'm with one real question so I can connect with them. Or you can also do and ask yourself, what would make today a success for me? And at the end of the day, you review it and ask yourself, was I successful? And for you to set up a successful day, you need to say, I need to do X, Y, Z to have a successful day. And make sure it's measurable, where you can ask yourself, did I or didn't I? It's a yes or a no. Very simple. Number 2, progress over perfection. We chase perfection, but many times we just fear being judged by others or making a fool out of ourselves. But in reality, it just paralyzes us and we don't do anything. So I want you to know, progress unlocks motivation. And this is not fluffy advice, it's biology. What do I mean by that is dopamine spikes when our body notices that we're moving in the right direction of our goals. So you can start anywhere. You can start by choosing to clean one dish, or send that one message, or write that one line in your journal. 3, reconnect with what energizes you. You know that when we feel lost, it's easy to disconnect from the things that once sparked excitement or flow. The things that energize you often point you to your deeper sense of direction, your why. Think about what lights you up, even for a moment. It doesn't have to be big, but is it maybe to help someone? Is it to create something? Is it to solve a difficult problem people are having? So ask yourself, what activity makes time disappear from me? Those answers reveal to you what direction you should be going in. I want you to use that spark to create traction. Maybe it's not for a grand purpose, but it's a thread worth pulling on. Number 4, choose meaning over comfort. You know, we are wired to avoid pain, but fulfillment doesn't come from avoiding discomfort. Meaning comes from doing the hard things that matter. It could be that you decide that you want to go to the gym every day, or that you want to have that tough conversation with that person. You don't have to overhaul your life. It's not about that. But it is about choosing growth even when you have an easy way out. I want you to ask yourself, what's the next meaningful step that you should take? And whatever answer you get, start moving in that direction. You know, I read a funny quote, and I'm going to read it to you. It says that meaning lives in the climb, not the couch. Super cheesy, but I thought that was a very funny quote that I wanted to share with you. You might be feeling lost, not because you're broken, but your mind is craving aim, momentum, and meaning. If you're still watching this, you're probably not as lost as you think. You just needed someone to tell you you're still holding the map. And send this to someone, a friend that might also be walking through the fog, you know? It might help them. And you know, we don't always need a plan. Sometimes we just need someone to walk with that will help us find our next steps.